So there is a dog we've got that did a board and train with us a couple years ago, and he's doing all right, but he's struggling with his leash walking. And it's the interesting thing is when I say he's struggling with his leash walking, I'm not saying he's like being reactive and, being a menace to other people and like all that kind of stuff. I just mean that he's just wound up so tight that when they go take him for walks, it's just like a stressful experience because like they're constantly towing this line of like he's under control, but man, at any second, it's like he looks like he could just like explode with energy.
Powder keg.
Right? And something that I always say, I talk about this with my clients a lot. I don't talk about it that much to the public, and I want to continue doing a better job of doing this, is there are some dogs, I mean, this is for all dogs, but there are some dogs it's much more important with. There are some dogs out there that no matter how much training you do with them, no matter how well behaved these dogs are, if you are not providing a sufficient outlet for your dog's energy, you will forever be fighting an uphill battle with them and just at odds with them. And they are frankly just going to be so unhappy. And this is one of those dogs, right? Yeah. German Shepherd, young German Shepherd, 2 years old, very well bred. This family had another German Shepherd I trained years ago, back before when we were just at like Heights on the east side. I trained this dog way back then, right? It was an easy German Shepherd, super low energy, not like a lot of your German Shepherds you meet. Got this new one thinking it was going to be very similar, and he has just been a ball of energy, right? They live, nice house, right? Like, large house where the dog can kind of like hang out in and play and stuff like that, but they don't have much of a yard for him to run around in, right? They live in a very suburban area with not a lot of parks and stuff they could take him to go run around in and stuff, right? Boy. So he's boarding with us right now for like 4 days. Just they're out of town. And I'm doing a follow-up session with them actually this weekend because she reached out to me like a week ago. She's like, hey, we're having some issues with the walk. We really want to figure out what we could do to kind of help him out more, right? And basically, since this dog has been with us, I've been spending a lot of time with him over the last couple of days. And all I've been doing is finding ways to burn off energy with him, right? Because this is what he needs. Because I took him out, and I awfully should walk this dog all through the park. And, like, I mean, he was, like, so compliant and under control. Yeah. But I could tell the dude just wanted to go. Yeah. He just wanted to go, just man. Rip and tear. Right? So, a couple things, right? First and foremost, I want to see, like, what's his ball drive like? Minimal ball drive. Right? So we spent some time working on building his ball drive. And I talked about this in one episode where we were going over like playing with your dog and like do's and don'ts and stuff for it. Yep. So I took it to chuck it. We went into a field. I had him off leash and I would just like kind of try to tease him with it, throw it, tease him with it, throw it. No interest, no interest, no interest. Finally, he started kind of chasing it a little bit. Right? So you chase it and then he wouldn't pick it up. He would just kind of go chase it. And then finally he like started picking it up. Right? So you would chase it, you would pick it up, and you would kind of run around with it for a minute and then just wind up losing interest and dropping it. And I would go steal it and then like taunt him with it again and then throw it. Right? And so far, I haven't added any control into this. Right? Because we're trying to build the drive to play the game. And right now, with his drive being so minimal and it finally starting to get to a manageable place where we could start playing this game, if I start adding rules in right away into it, tanks it down the drain. Yeah. Right? So that's one thing that we're doing. And I'll just kind of share a couple video clips I have of as I've been doing this. Sure. So here he is, obviously. So throwing it, finally got him chasing the ball. See him picking it up. And notice right here, I'm not trying to get him to come to me or anything. I let him do his little victory lap with it, let him have a good time. And you'll see, obviously, just dropped it, lost interest. And you see there's kids over there, like it's not like he's like distracted by the environment or anything. Yeah. And you see he's still carrying it around. There you go, he dropped it. So I go over and I try to steal it from him. And then I taunt him with it. I even let him jump up and try to grab it and then throw it, right? So we're building drive for the game with him. So that's thing number one, right? Like if they could learn how to start playing with this dog and have an outlet to just burn off steam. I know with Vinny, Chuck It helped me so much with Vinny. Yeah. it was one of those things where when I lived in Tremont, more of like a city environment and didn't have a ton of space around, I would take him to a field every day and just throw that ball until he couldn't even fucking walk.
Yeah.
And like, he would be gassed for the rest of it. He'd be satisfied from it, right? Dogs like that, they're made to run full speed, like, and just go. And right now he has no ways of being able to do that, right? So that's thing number one. Thing number two is just off-leash exploration, right? A lot of times we look at burning physical energy off, which is very important, right? Obviously, training satisfies a mental urge, but when your dog still has physical energy, it's you're fighting an uphill battle, And some dogs, the training is enough mental stimulation. We talk about that a lot. Other dogs, it's just absolutely not. They need the physical drive as well, right? So other things that we're doing is off-leash exploration, where he could physically exert himself. If he wants to run, he can, but we're taking him to new places to just go explore. So yesterday, I took homeboy to the beach. Ooh. We went to the freaking dog beach, right? And you can see here, look at this guy. He's hanging out on the beach. Look at him running, hanging out, having a good time, sniffing around, checking things out. Just getting it out of his system, Mm-hmm. And like no commands or anything. I'm just letting him do his thing. If he gets too far away, I'll recall him back. Mm-hmm. But I'm totally letting him just get whatever he wants to get out of his system, out of his system. Beautiful. Then we got another clip, just him hanging out. And you see, as it goes along, see how much closer he's organically staying to me? Mm-hmm. That's not because there's dog over there, people over there. He's welcome to do whatever he wants to do at this point. But because he's finally getting some of it out of his system, he's sticking closer to me because he doesn't feel that urge to go because we're giving him that outlet.
Yeah.
Right? So we're working backwards. A lot of times with dogs like this, we work, very linear with it. We work very linear where it's like, all right, we got an out-of-control dog. Let's teach the dog to control it. And that is important, right?
Yes.
Because, frankly, I couldn't trust him fully off-leash unless he proved to me that he can keep himself under control, right? But then, once you have that established, you have to work backwards to then really fine-tune the leash walking, right? So what does he want to do? He wants to go. So let's let him go, and then let's slowly reel it back in from there. And as you reel it back in from there, after they've kind of been physically and mentally drained and satisfied like that, everything just gets 20 times easier.
Yeah.
Right?
So much pent
Same
up.
deal. You see right here, we were going, there's another dog there. Let him go up, sniff, hang out.
Turkey, come.
And then I call him back to me. Beautiful.
No.
A little too far away, still enforcing that come command, making sure he comes in nice and tight. Beautiful.
Nice.
So
beautiful.
I wanted to share this because, like, again, I know I've said it before, but like we get so hung up on the training sometimes, even in these comparisons of fucking studies and stuff. Yeah. And we act like the training we're doing. And this dog's e-collar trained, right? We predominantly use an e-collar with him. He's got minimal food drive. You even saw as I'm increasing the ball drive, his toy drive isn't super high, right? Like, we e-collar trained this dog, right? Mm-hmm. He gets corrected for not listening, right? And if you look at it so basically, of like, oh, you're just correcting the dog's stressed all the time, this and that, like, and you never look at all the other things that you need to be able to provide for dogs like this. Mm-hmm. Like, him because he's e-collar trained, he could go to the beach and hang out and have the time of his life, right? Because he's e-collar trained, he could go and play ball in a field and have a great time. And I know that if a squirrel is there, I could stop him from chasing the squirrel. Yeah. Right? Because he's e-collar trained, I plan on, before he goes home tomorrow, taking him for a hike somewhere in the woods. Right? I could do that and know if we see a deer in there, I can keep him under control.
Yeah.
All of that is because he's e-collar trained. Mm-hmm. if he was not e-collar trained, the amount of frustration that he would have because he has to be on a leash all the time, which is what's creating a lot of his problems because he doesn't have the outlet. And then the buildup of frustration of holding him back, stopping him from chasing these types of things with the leash would make a dog like this 4,000 times worse.